So guys, sadly for me, I'm rained off today. But luckily for you, I'm going to show you how I price up my plastering jobs. So it's going to be a short one, but I'm just going to tell you exactly what goes into pricing up a domestic bog standard bedroom. So it's just going to be a straightforward reskim, and I'm just going to show you exactly how I do them and how I've done them for a long time. I'm going to be using a notepad and pen because it's easy for me to record what I'm actually pricing for and how it's going down. But I do actually use a CRM system, which is a customer relationships management tool. I think that's the word for it. But what's on there is some software that helps you to price up. So you pre-populate it with what your day rates are, what all the materials costs are, and all you need to do is add the quantities in there, adds it together for you, and then you can send it on to your customer. So that's another video for another day, but I'm going to show you on my notepad. I'm going to show you a job that I did, which I priced it up, and domestic customer, bog standard house. This is how you do it. So you can see on here, guys, I've written down the materials, and I've written down angle beads, PVA, bonding, finishing plaster, scrim tape. That is all you're going to need for this job. Obviously you would have dust sheets and stuff like that, but again, you're not going to buy new ones for it. Laminate floor, so you just stick down some dust sheets that you've got in van. But anyway, the materials, these costs may vary depending on where you get them from, but I've worked it out at an angle bead at £2 to £2.50 a bead, so put fiver. PVA is 12 quid a tub. Bonding, tenner a bag would be nice. A finishing plaster, tenner a bag would be nice, and a five of them, so it's 50 quid. Scrim tape, don't even stick that in because you always have a roll in van, and it's just for some airline cracks that needed covering up, and that's what I used it for. So I'm not going to charge someone a fiver for a roll for that, and that's it. But the cost comes to 77 quid. You just round it up to 80. Don't start, putting £77 and 62 pence in on a quote. You just round it up to the nearest one, and that happens to be 80 quid. So we've got 80 quid roughly for an average bedroom in plastering materials, just for a reskim, yeah? Now, the labour aspect of this project, right? So from the photos you can see it's not small, but it's not a big bedroom. Pretty standard size. And the labour for this is something that would vary depending on who the plasterer is. So customers watching this might be thinking, blimey, that's expensive. Or you might be thinking, wow, that's cheap. I don't know. And some plasterers might be thinking the same, wow, that's expensive, or that's cheap, or you're doing that quick, or you're doing that slow. It varies. Everyone's got their own opinions. Everyone's got their own, way of working and stuff like that. But I'm just telling you how I would price it up. So this room, it's a day's work for me. It's a long day at most. There wouldn't be enough left in it for me to come back another day and, mess about with a little gauge. So for me, I'd probably start this job at about 7:30, 8 o'clock, and I'd be out of there for about 4, half 4. So yeah, bog standard day for me anyway, but the labour cost is something that would vary depending on who it is. Someone might take 2 days to do a room like this with getting it PVA'd up and, a little bit of bonding that it did need, and skimming it, do you know what I mean? So it differs, but for me, it's a pretty standard day. If everything goes to plan, I'm going to get out of there for about 3:30, 4. If it goes a little bit, bonding might take a bit longer, whatever, I'm going to be 4:30, 5. But my rate compared to other people's rate, they all vary, they're all different. But for me, labour wise, I'd be looking at £250 to £300 for this room, depending on where it is and where I've got to travel. So that's where I'd be at. But some people might do it over certain plasterers might do it over 2 days and charge you 150 quid a day, or some might charge 200 quid a day and do it over 2 days. It's up to them. Everyone's different, but for me, I'd be happy with a 250 for that, and plus the materials, and like I say, it might be up a little bit more if it's a little bit further out to cover my fuel. It might be 260, 270 for the day, but something like that. Standard room, I'm looking to get that boxed off in a day, and all in, you're looking around £350 to £400 just to reskim a room like that. So yeah, I hope that helps you. Yeah, and yeah, for anyone who's thinking, how would I work that job, as in doing it in the day? How would I plaster it? What would I do? My process would be, so I'll turn up 7:30, and what I would do then, I'd sheet up the floor quickly with some dust sheets that I'd have in the truck or the van. I'd put them down, and then what I'd do, I'd PVA straight away. So I'd start rolling the walls, PVAing all the walls, stuff like that. Actually, backtrack that. I'd put the scrim tape on the cracks first. So any hairline cracks or anything that's going to need some tape on, some mesh on, I'd put that on first, then I'd PVA. So just remember that. You always want to put your tape on before you put your PVA on, because it's just a nightmare if it starts falling off if it's wet and stuff. So I usually would put on the scrim tape, then PVA it, and then, like I say, let that start pulling in. While that's pulling in, you've got other stuff to do. You can set up your water, you know, go get your water, set up your water bucket set up, get your bags in, get all that in, get everything set up. And then while I'm waiting for the PVA to pull in, I'm sticking my beads on. So I'll be cutting them down, I'll be stapling them on. The window reveals on this bedroom didn't need beading because they had a timber architrave on, so they didn't need beading, but I'll just stuck them on if I, you know, if I were beading them, I'll just start stapling them on. And then what you want to do then, after you've got all your stuff ready, is mix one. Mix number one is where I call, we want to break its back. So in the first mix, I want to break its back, mate. That's what I'm looking to do. So for me, I'm sticking on that ceiling. I'm doing at least an up and over. So I'm sticking on that ceiling, and I probably put on the smaller back wall, that's quite a clear, simple wall. I'll probably put that on. I'll probably put on the opposite wall in between the two doors as well, because that's a small wall. I'll just put on stuff that I can keep on top of. So first mix, ceiling, that wall there, that back wall there, and then I mix up a little mix to tight coat over it again, my second pass, because you always give it 2 coats. And then while I've done that, anything I'd left over, I'd use up. So you see the little nibs and stuff like that, I'll just use it up on them. That's my first mix there. Hopefully have that on for about 9:30, 10 o'clock, and then finishing that up around 1 o'clock. I wouldn't stop for lunch, I'd just eat as I went. So I just probably, when I'm plastering, I never really sit down and have a break and have a proper scran. It's just one of them things. It just don't work. I find it don't work to me. It's like you need to just crack on, because with plastering, it's non-stop. So yeah, I wouldn't sit down and have an half an hour or an hour break or anything like that. I'd just be eating in between, because in between trowels, you sat down doing that anyway. So for me, I'd eat in between the trowels. And yeah, about half one, no problem. I mean, sorry, about 1 o'clock, half one-ish, maybe, I'd put a mix on. I've got a rule that I don't ever put a mix on after 2 o'clock. It's just because after 2, it just seems to drag then. You're definitely going to be there past 5. And it's just something I've always done ever since I started plastering. After 2, it's very rare that you'll see me put a mix on. So like I say to you, 1 o'clock, half one, mix goes on. And then it's nice and easy. You've just got literally them end walls, the window wall to do, and the little nibs and the little square wall next to the nibs if you haven't got the nibs on. So it's a very easy gauge. And while that gauge is on, I'm then taking all my stuff out. So I'm cleaning up, I'm getting all my buckets emptied out, I'm getting all the any rubbish or anything like that put in bags, and putting my tools away. And with each trowel as it goes, I'm then taking my splash brush off, putting that away. I mean my skimming trowel, and putting that away, and working through it like that. That's how I would do it. Start getting stuff out, get my mixer out, get my 110 box out, and basically by the time I come to my last trowel in that room, all I want to do is give it a cross, to give it a polish, and pull my dust sheets up, take them out, and I have to come up and just give it a quick mop or a brush, whatever it is, just for dust on the floor. That's it. So yeah, that's all I would do, guys. That's how I would do a room like that in a day, and that's how I would price it up. So I hope that helps you. I hope it helps any customers who are watching, wondering how we price up, how Rendervate price up, and any potential plasterers or plasterers who are wondering how I would do that. There you go. That's how I'd box it off. So anyway, I hope that helps you, and yeah, thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe to the channel, man, and give us some, give us a comment if you tell me a way that you'd like to do it, or the way that you would work that different. Let me know. Like I say, I'm interested to know. And yeah, nice one. Cheers for watching. And remember, it's Rendervate. We render houses. So that's where it's at. Labour, £250 to £300. Price range would be total with labour and materials £330 to £400. Video. I just want to introduce you to a new little venture that I'm going on, and it's called Tees of the Trade. And this t-shirt I'm wearing is from the line there. So it's an Etsy shop, and basically if you go onto Etsy, type in Tees of the Trade, and you'll see all types of different t-shirts for all the different types of trades. So we're still building it up, but mainly I've got the plastering ones on there. So this one here is a plastering top, and this is my favourite one, so I've got this done just for me, this one. And obviously you guys can go get it as well. We do mugs, we've got more stuff coming as well, as far as hats go, hoodies, jumpers, and more different designs of t-shirts as well. So listen, if you want to check it out, you can go to the Instagram page. That's where we keep posting our new designs and new products that we're putting up. And also if you go to the Etsy shop, obviously they're all on there, and like I say, you can order on there. So feel free to go check it out. Cheers for that, guys.